General Motors, alongside its luxury vehicle brand Cadillac, has officially announced its entry into Formula One starting from the 2026 season. This news marks a major development, as they will become the 11th team on the grid. With this expansion, there will be opportunities for new, young drivers who are eager to showcase their skills. But there's a twist considering that Cadillac is a rookie team. They'll need experienced hands to guide them through their debut years. And that's where Daniel Ricciardo comes into the picture. Ricciardo, a proven race winner with 8 career victories, could make a grand return to Formula One under Cadillac's banner. The big question now is whether this comeback will be more successful than his previous attempts. This announcement is undoubtedly a game-changer for Formula One. Not only will the grid now feature 22 drivers, but we're also on track to see a new engine manufacturer join the sport in the coming years. The long-term vision for General Motors involves a fully American team, led by American management, powered by American engines. While this vision is exciting, it's likely that in the early years they'll seek the expertise of a driver who isn't American, but has a massive following, someone like Ricciardo, who has the experience to help develop the car and provide crucial feedback. As Cadillac looks to build its team, the entry of General Motors into Formula One is creating a new chapter for the sport. This isn't just about adding another team to the grid, it's about the potential shift in power dynamics and the injection of fresh competition. The excitement around Cadillac's entry isn't just about the team's expansion, it's also about what they bring to the table, an American presence that will shake things up on a global stage. General Motors is committed to making Cadillac a strong contender in Formula One, and their plan goes beyond just fielding a team. They are also aiming to supply engines in the future, with their own power units expected to hit the grid by 2027 or 2028. In the meantime, it looks like Cadillac will rely on engines from either Ferrari or Honda as they get their feet wet in the sport. This is a smart move to start, as these manufacturers already have a strong track record in F1, and it will give Cadillac time to develop their own engines without rushing the process. In fact, the departure of Renault from the engine supply market in 2026 leaves an opening for competitors like Cadillac to step in and fill the gap. While many people were skeptical about the potential of a new team entering Formula One, especially after the struggles of some past rookies like Haas in 2016, Cadillac's entry seems different. Unlike those teams, General Motors enters Formula One with solid backing and resources, and the company's experience in engineering and motorsports could make them a formidable presence on the grid. The shift in strategy is noticeable, especially since the talks with the FIA and FOM Formula One management have been ongoing for some time. One of the most significant changes in the dynamics surrounding Cadillac's entry is the shift in the F1 landscape. In the past, the potential entry of teams like Andretti stirred strong reactions, especially from figures like Toto Wolff. But this time, it's not just Andretti pushing for a spot, it's General Motors making the move, which adds a new dimension to the conversation. Toto Wolff himself has softened his stance on the matter, acknowledging that the arrival of General Motors as a team owner is a different situation altogether. He emphasized that F1's primary concern is growth, whether that means more teams on the grid, more fans watching, or increased revenue for the sport. Wolff stated that as long as the addition of Cadillac helps achieve these goals, no one should be against it. What's interesting is the role of Mario Andretti in this scenario. Though he is widely recognized as a F1 legend and an advocate for expanding the American influence in the sport, he is set to take on the role of director at Cadillac, not as a team owner. This may seem like a shift from his son Michael's vision of leading an all-American team, but it's likely a necessary step to ensure General Motors' entry into Formula One. Wolff further elaborated, pointing out that despite Andretti's involvement, the key decisions won't be made by the team or the Andretti family, they'll be made by the commercial rights holders, in this case Liberty Media, who hold the final say on team entries. As the excitement builds around Cadillac's entry, one of the key questions remains who will drive for them. This is where the driver lineup becomes crucial. General Motors' strategy might follow the path set by Audi, who is also entering as a rookie team in 2026. Audi plans to pair a young, untested driver with a more experienced one, and Cadillac could take a similar approach. In this scenario, Daniel Ricciardo stands out as the ideal candidate. With a proven track record and a reputation for providing valuable technical feedback, Ricciardo has what it takes to help Cadillac get up to speed. His experience in the sport, despite not always having the fastest car, means he knows how to extract the maximum performance from any vehicle. His technical feedback has been praised by many teams, including Red Bull, and that's exactly what Cadillac needs as they build their F1 program. While some might question Ricciardo's recent performances, there's no denying that with the right car and motivation, he could make a major impact. For a new team like Cadillac, Having a veteran like Ricciardo on board would offer invaluable insight and stability, especially in the early years when the team is finding its feet. Plus, his popularity in the US could help generate the kind of media attention and fan interest that would benefit the brand as they push to make their mark in Formula One. Another major factor to consider in Cadillac's F1 plans is the importance of feedback. The new 2026 regulations are set to shake up the sport, and no one, no matter how experienced, will be immune to the challenges they bring. This makes driver input more crucial than ever, as teams will need to adapt quickly to the new technical landscape. Ricciardo's ability to provide detailed, precise feedback about car handling and performance would be essential to Cadillac's development. While they have already made significant strides, including utilizing Toyota's wind tunnel in Cologne to test for the 2026 rules, having a driver who can communicate what the car needs and where improvements can be made is invaluable. In this sense, Ricciardo's role would extend far beyond just driving the car. It would be about helping the team fine-tune its setup and make the right adjustments. But Ricciardo isn't the only name being thrown around for a seat at Cadillac. Young American drivers like Colton Herta and Pato O'Ward are also potential candidates. Herta, in particular, has been linked to F1 for years and would add another layer of American talent to the grid. O'Ward, currently a McLaren Junior driver, is a fan favorite, and his charisma would undoubtedly bring attention to Cadillac's entry. These two could bring the fresh energy and drive Cadillac needs, but would they have the same level of experience to give the team the feedback they need? That's the trade-off they will need to consider. The dynamics around Cadillac's entry into Formula One are certainly intriguing. As much as the team wants to field young, talented drivers, it's clear that experience will be just as important in these early years. While young American drivers could make an impact, it's the veteran guidance that could really help the team succeed. Ricciardo's experience could be exactly what Cadillac needs to accelerate its learning curve. The key question, however, is how Ricciardo might be able to secure a seat at Cadillac. Despite announcing his break from racing, he's made it clear that he's not fully retiring and is open to returning with the right opportunity. Cadillac's entry could be the lifeline Ricciardo needs to re-establish himself in the sport, especially as the new regulations offer a clean slate for all teams. A return in competitive machinery would give him a chance to show that he still has what it takes. And that could be a great story for the sport, especially in the US, where F1 is growing in popularity. Additionally, with other drivers like Franco Colapinto making waves in the US and Latin America, the competition for a seat at Cadillac could be fierce. Colapinto has caught the eye of many in the motorsport world, and Red Bull has been watching his progress closely. He could be a viable option for the team, bringing even more international attention to Cadillac. And then there's Valtteri Bottas, who could also make a move if the opportunity arises, having shown interest in driving for a competitive team after his time at Alfa Romeo. As we look ahead to 2026 and beyond, one of the most exciting developments is the role that engines will play in Cadillac's future. While they'll initially be relying on engines from established manufacturers like Ferrari or Honda, their ultimate goal is to build their own power units by 2027 or 2028. This transition will be a key factor in shaping their competitiveness on the grid. If Cadillac can deliver a competitive engine that stands up to the likes of Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull, it could completely change the dynamic in Formula One. One interesting aspect of this is the possibility of Cadillac working with one of these manufacturers in the early years. If they go with Ferrari, for example, there might be pressure for them to include one of Ferrari's reserve drivers in the lineup, or even someone from their academy, to test the car and gain valuable insights. While this may only be a temporary arrangement, it could help Cadillac get up to speed more quickly. At the same time, Ricciardo's ability to provide valuable feedback and work with Cadillac's technical team could be what makes the difference between success and failure in these early years. In Formula One, having the right people in the right positions can make all the difference, and it seems that Cadillac is positioning itself to do just that. With Mario Andretti as the director and the support of General Motors, the potential for success is there provided they can execute. As for the larger question of whether General Motors' entry into Formula One will be a positive for the sport, it's hard to deny that their presence is likely to increase visibility, especially in the US, where the sport is growing rapidly. If Cadillac can perform well, not only will they attract American fans, but they'll also bring in new sponsorship and create more excitement around F1 in the States. It's still early days, but all signs point to a very interesting chapter ahead in Formula One. With new teams, fresh talent, and some veteran drivers ready to make a return, the sport is about to enter a new era. But what do you think? Can Ricciardo revive his career with Cadillac? Will General Motors' entrance strengthen Formula One's global appeal? Share your thoughts in the comments below.